grace broke that temptation was the highest victory I had in my life. Am I talking to somebody? Yes, so grace to resist, grace to overcome. Now, you know this topic very well. And Isaac sowed in the land. Number one, there was opposition. Number two, Isaac was afraid. Number three, there was a threat. But there was a famine. But Isaac sowed in the land. Number one, God, grace. Grace is when 2 times 2 is not equal to 4. Grace is when 2 times 2 is not equal to 4. It gives you 14, 15, 20, 100. So God is when God's presence enters your activity. Am I talking to somebody? Yes. That thing you do, God's presence enter. Akin and Popo, they have grace. Grace is not only for believers. Grace is any person, because Jesus, when his blood hit the ground, it healed the land. If you go to John chapter 20, verse 7 to 10, there was a napkin folded aside that wrapped the head of Jesus. So when you have the mind of God and you are thinking to provide a solution to help God do what he's supposed to do, tongues and thistles will not grow from your land, because he has carried the curse upon his head. The earth become obedient to him. If a Japanese is thinking about a solution, I will tell you about intuition tomorrow, about inspiration. If a Japanese is thinking about finding a cure to coronavirus, and a Christian is shaking his head like a concrete mixer, grace will not come upon you to provide the solution. Grace can come upon you to manage poverty at the poverty level. To stay in one room and parlor and have 14 children, none of them will die. Those ones are called Pickenses. So, are you following what I'm saying? So, now, grace entered the seeds of Isaac. They became drought resistant and rapidly yielding seeds. You see, grace is supposed to give you insight. I will come to that. So, and Isaac sowed in the land and reaped 100-fold. Now, you have a pen there. Write G times E times S raised to the power 4 is equal to arrow. Arrow as in rice. Arrow means, can somebody put it there? G, can you type it? Arrow means result. G, how do I, this thing is making noise, do I put it closer to my mouth? G is the grace of God. Grace times 0 effort will give you 0 result. So when you have grace, and you don't do anything, you won't get anything.
Yes, sir.
Am I talking to somebody?
Yes, sir.
Abraham had to even sleep with Sarah to produce Isaac at 100. Me, I'm 61 to sleep with my wife. You have to, the engine has expired. You have to wind it and anoint it sometimes before the thing will start like a bad motor. Go. So for Abraham to have